All right. So, as long as everything is working the way that it should be working, we are live. So, hello and welcome to everyone who is watching the Written Melanin channel. If you've never seen me before, my name is Chelsea, and I write books about Black girls who aren't all that nice. Glad you're here. And I'm here with the wonderful, amazing Jessica Cage, and I'm going to let her introduce herself because I don't have the bandwidth this morning.
Uh, Hi, I'm Jessica. I write books. They're fantasy. I was not prepared to introduce myself. Hi, I'm here.
She's the wonderful, amazing Jessica Cage. She writes black fantasy. She's got like a ton of books in her backlog, and she's a USA Today best-selling author. And she's an amazing person. She runs her own podcast, More Than a Plot Point, and that's all I got. That's all I got. But she's
I
amazing.
need to start programming all that in my head for introducing myself.
So, but if you've been here before, welcome. If you're new, welcome. But y'all know what we're about here to do. We're here to write. We're here to be productive. Whatever it is that you need to get done and need to do in this time, great. We're here to be productive together. So, shout out to Benjamin who is here. Shout out to Ash who's also here. Also, um, if you guys like sprinting, before I forget, I will also be on Ash's channel later today at 6 o'clock on her channel, and she does drink and write. So we will be over there drinking and writing. So two sprints in one day. What? She doesn't know who she is, and she's gonna be dead tired, but that's fine. That's fine.
It's
But yeah,
the commitment.
it's the commitment, and don't y'all ask where I'm at on Friday because I'm not gonna exist in this plane of the universe. I'm gonna be unconscious the entire day. That is the plan, just to be napping and sleeping, and then maybe get some water and nap some more. That's the plan. But that being said, let us know what you are working on in the chat, what you're doing today, whether it be writing or anything else. And yeah, the first sprint will start 10 minutes after the hour to let everybody get in, get situated, grab your water, your coffee, your tea, whatever else it is that you need to be productive. And yeah, so Jessica, what are you working on?
I am working on wrapping up the fourth book of my Siren series. I think I was telling you earlier, it won't end. I mean, I'm loving the story, but I was supposed to be done with this like 2 weeks ago. So, this is the longest like title that I like solo title that I've written ever. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
exciting, but like overwhelming at the same time. So
Understandable. Understandable. Um,
what do you
I
got going on?
I am working on chapter 10 of book two. I keep this word count keeps going up, and I'm just kind of like I'm gonna need it to not, because right now it says I need 2,700 words, and I'm like, y'all, I need this word count to come back down. I did this to myself. I know I did this to myself, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm like, I'm gonna need this to come back inching towards like that 25, 23, 1900 word count because I don't want to. I'm tired. I'm tired. But it's
The
fine.
stories is taking themselves. They're doing the work for us. It's just Lord, they need to shorten up the shorten it up so we can get done.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of
But
like,
do you feel like good about the material? Like that's the question. Like
I do. I'm really excited about it. It's just that my process is so slow that like I can write maybe like 4 to 5 thousand words because honestly, talking to you, you're just like, yeah, I just wrote like 12,000 words today. I was like, okay, well, clearly I need to do better. So I was like, I can get like 4,000 words in a sitting, but I'm so mentally drained. Like, I can't repeat that the next day. I have to take
yeah.
a day off. But then my word count, she said, well, you were supposed to write 2,700 words today, so you didn't. So now we got to factor that in, and the word count goes up. And I'm like, damn, I was so close. I was so
But
close.
you know what? It's that what they say about comparison being like the thief of joy because like I will have a day where I can write 15,000 words, but then the next few days I'm writing like three. So it's
Okay.
not like I'm writing 15,000 words every day. There are people who sit down and that's all and they just write and they hit those numbers every day consistently. But like that's not my life. Like I have clients, I have a kid, like I'm a single mom. So it's like some days I can lock myself in my office and just and go, and then most days I cannot do that. So but my average is about like 4K a day. That's about my average.
Gotcha. And
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at this point. I can do about 4,000 words in one sitting, which for me is basically is a whole chapter. It's either two
Yeah.
scenes or a chapter, right? And I'm good with that. It's just my personal deadline because I want to get this book out this year, and I know that there are other steps that I want to go through and give people time because I know I want to
Mm.
get it out to my beta readers in March. Well, we in February, and March seemed far away when I set this deadline for myself in like November, but now
Yeah.
we're in February, and I'm like, wait a second, that's like next month.
Yeah.
So,
No, so at least you're trying to finish it first because like I started giving these chapters because I use Story Origin where you can
mhm,
do like chapter by chapter upload for your beta readers.
mhm,
And I started giving them the chapters as I was revising what I thought was a complete story. But the thing I always do is I set myself up for failure. My last few chapters are always just bullet points. Like when I go back to do my revisions,
mhm.
I'll get to those like last 4 or 5 chapters and it's just a list of like, this is what's supposed to happen here. And so then I have to start writing again. And I got to that point and I was like telling my betas, like, I'm so sorry, but we're in here for a minute because the story is so as soon as I finish a chapter, I'm giving it to my beta readers because they're like waiting for it now.
And see, maybe that's what I should do because, like, after I finish chapter 10, I'll have the first, like, that'll be like, in my mind, what's going to be the first half of the
Mm-hmm.
book because Where the Origin is 21 chapters. So, chapter 10 would, once it's done, would be the second half of the chapter. And I know that I'm not going to go back and change anything like major
Yeah.
because my husband and my critique partner reads it as I write it. And they're both like, yeah, this is good. So, I'm like, I'll like clean it up or whatever for my beta readers, but I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I should do that. And Ash, you're in the chat, and you are one of my beta readers, so let me know what you think about it. But would you be cool if I only sent you the first half of the book and then you had to wait like a couple more weeks for the second half? Would that be okay? Because I don't want to upset anybody either. But
Yeah. Well, the thing with Story Origin is like you can do it and they have a time limit so like people can jump. I have one beta reader that's like, I just let me know when you're finished, and I'm like, cool. But the other ones are like actively, as I post, it kind of works for their schedule. Um, yeah, I love that freaking app because like one of the things is like you don't have to send them a Word doc. It's just an app, and they can only. I had some beta readers that I weeded out because they wouldn't give me solid feedback, or
mhm,
like you have to finish a chapter in order to read the next chapter. Like they have those stop gates in there. Um, so
man,
I freaking love that, and you can put like different surveys for each chapter. I freaking love it.
let me guess. I already know the answer to this question. But I'm asking anyway. Is it free?
They have a free version. They
See,
do.
I love how you were like they have a free version, and that means
Yeah.
in Black people language, I don't use the free version, but they have
I
one.
know, but they have one. No, but I'm pretty sure like when I first started, I had like a trial free version thingy.
Yeah,
Um, but I was like, I just pay for it because I use it so often, and you write it off on your taxes. So hey, I don't know. But what I do need to do,
true.
I need to get a new critique partner. My critique partner just disappeared in the last like year and a half. So
Oh, oh snap.
she just like stopped writing and was like, I'm out. And I was like, but you just left me high and dry. So now I have to like search for a new one. It's so sad.
Yeah. I mean, I would volunteer myself, but it depends on how quickly you need feedback. I ain't even gonna lie.
No,
So,
you're good. You're good.
but
I'm thinking for future projects.
yeah. And I'm with Benjamin. Who doesn't finish a chapter before they read the next one? Like you're just gonna jump in silently into chapter 7? Like, wait
And
a
you have
second.
people like when you're worried about people like stealing your material. I think that's why it's there. Because it's like if you actually have to sit here and like read this and fill out a survey and give me solid feedback, and then at any point I can cut off your access. Because I had one that was like putting like, oh my god, I love Jessica's work. This is amazing, and I was like, okay, you are deleted, and you can ban them from getting future, you know what I mean, books and stuff. Because
Wow.
they're just there for the free material. They're not really there to give you any solid feedback.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I will look into Story Origin because it's similar to whatchamacallit, Book Funnel. Because I remember
Mm.
people using it for their arcs and stuff. And I was just like, I know I have Book Funnel, but I didn't know that Story Origin did all of this.
Yeah, I had Book Funnel. I paid for that whole like whatever it is
Hmm.
the big package, the forever package for Book Funnel a long time ago. So I still have Book Funnel, but I don't really utilize it anymore. I use Story Origin
Yeah, they
because
don't
you
have
have
that forever
art.
package
They do
anymore.
everything. You said what?
They don't have that forever package no more.
Yeah, it helps when you're like 13 years in and you got grandfathered into a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
like before these apps started charging all this extra money, I was already there. That's why I'll never get rid of my PicMonkey account because I got grandfathered in on that like super low price. They're like, we'll never raise your pricing. I will never cancel it either because I want to pay.
Okay.
Now to pay what people are paying now for this app. So yeah.
Got you. I will put this in the back pocket for
Exactly,
later.
story origin for a new author. I would definitely recommend it because it's an all-in-one tool where you can do your betas, you can have arcs, you can do newsletter campaigns. Like it's like they really built it out. Like before they did all their building and add-ons, it was like but now it's like it's kind of they have everything in one location that you're going to need for building your newsletter, getting your arcs out, connecting with your beta readers. Like it's seamless right now. And they just announced some updates. I have to read that email, but yeah, I would definitely recommend it if it's within your budget. It may not be within your budget to use all those features, but if you can afford it, I say it's a good one. It's not even that expensive, I don't think. But again, I don't check other people's pockets. Something that's not expensive to me may not be doable for someone else. So
Oh, she said, I don't think it's that expensive, but I'm not checking your pocket, so take that with a grain of salt.
right.
All right. I'm looking at the pricing now, and oh, I mean, if you pay for Book Funnel, this is about the same pricing, honestly.
Yeah.
So, oh, there's literally only one other tier. It's like either get everything or get nothing. Okay, that's fantastic.
I got everything. I was like, yep, I like it. Let's go.
Okay, okay. I see
They're
what kind of
all or nothing.
all or nothing. If you're gonna pay us money, you get everything. If you pay nothing, you get nothing. Okay. All right.
That's
Anyway,
crazy.
um, I'll look at that later. But we were supposed to start 10 minutes after the hour, so um, we're going to go ahead and jump into this first sprint. You guys know it's 25 minutes. There will be some chill hop playing in the background. So if you don't want to hear it, you can mute it. And 25 minutes on the clock after I click on my right thing. Okay, here we go. 25 minutes on the clock. Happy sprinting, you guys. That is not supposed to do that. Hold on. I'm sorry. It's not working. I don't know what's happening. Jesus be offense. Why isn't it working? I can't stop the timer. Anyway, 25 minutes on the clock. We will keep it manually this time. So,
I'm trying to be tech support like I can do something from over here.
okay. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not working, you guys. And I'm too tired. I don't know what's supposed to happen. I don't know the keyboard shortcut. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it will be 35. 25 minutes will be 40. So 40 minutes after the hour, come back and we'll talk. I'm going to work this out. Happy sprinting, you guys. All right, you guys, that is it for that sprint. So let us know how you did, what you did, so on and so forth. And this is also your reminder to stretch, take a break, drink some water, do whatever it is that you need to do to take care of yourself. So yeah. Miss Jessica, how did you do?
Oh my god. 990 words. or 89
Mhm.
word 989 because I
Awesome.
yeah.
Congratulations. Um, I got 507 that time after I was a little distracted in the beginning, only because I was trying to figure out this freaking timer. And you know what it was? Like Ben just had to come in and stare at the computer. He had to intimidate it, and then it just started working. So if y'all saw me cracking up on stream, it was because Ben came in here and he's a funny person. Most people don't know that, but Ben's a funny person. So I was just like, yep, that's exactly what it was. Just needed to be intimidated by a man, I guess, because why not?
It got it together. That's what
Yeah,
works.
quick, fast, and in a hurry. Like all of a sudden, I pressed the button and it worked. So
Yeah.
there's that. Um, but yeah, and oh, I got my little planning together for my little calendar. I've been tracking uh the days that I actually write versus the days that I am um not writing versus the days that I'm just like handwriting or like if I'm just like plotting where it's just like I'm working on writing but I'm not actually adding to the word count.
Yeah.
Um just because like my goal for this year is to like write more days than I don't. I did not succeed in January, but that's okay. We're gonna do better in February.
Right. That's all that matters. It'll get better.
Yeah. Hopefully. Hopefully.
I'm tracking my like words per hour, um, or per minute, I should say. I used to be able to do like 70, 80, like plus words per minute. And like recently it's like 30 to 40.
Oh
I'm
wow.
trying to get that number back up. I don't know what happened.
Look, I
I
don't.
don't know
How do
what
you
happened.
track that?
Well, so like in this session, it's 25 minutes. It's 989 words divided by 25. So I got 40 words a minute.
Oh, look at you doing the
Yeah.
math. Okay.
I have a spreadsheet, so it does it. You know, you just plug in the numbers and it does the formula.
I love how you immediately follow that up with this is not mental math. There's a
Yeah,
formula.
no, I do not rely on my brain at all.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, also, want to shout out Read Love Listen, Vicky Fox, and Cassandra D. Vincent, who all came in while we were sprinting. So, hello. Oh, Read Writing and Rain is also also popped in. So, hello, welcome you guys. Thanks for joining us. Going to shout
Hello.
out that Vicky said that y'all should like the video. She said it. I didn't, so I think you should follow along with that. Yeah. Um, let's see here. Cassandra said, got some self work first to get myself centered, and next I'll be tackling updating my outline from my previous pants and plot work. Cool.
Nice.
Good luck. Uh, Read, Love, Listen got 49 words, but I was dropping my kids off. That's fair. Being a parent is very important, so we understand. Uh, Asteroid Slots. I fell off at the end of the month. Need to finish at least two short stories this month to stay on track. Yeah, I want to write a short story, but I feel like my storytelling style is too slow for a short story. I feel like I would take like the entire 5,000 words just setting it up.
I've been trying to do more of those like anthologies that ask for shorts or like just competition. You know, like I don't know. I doubt I'll win any because I'm the same way. Like the setup takes too long, and then it's like oh, I only have 1,000 words left. You know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get better at that, but it's more of as a personal challenge, just so I can like kind of you know hone my skills a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I have this idea, and it's for a side character in a book that I know that I'm going to write. And it's just kind of like, I want to write it, but there's not a whole like book story series. It's just a singular idea. So I want to write it, but I'm also
Mm-hmm.
kind of like on the fence about it because I'm also like I'm knee deep in, the Wrath of the Gods. So I'm like I don't know if I want to deviate and put myself in a place where it's just like, oh, I'm excited about other projects more than I'm excited about this one, so now I don't want to finish it. That's what happened with
Yeah,
keeping promises, and I don't want to do that to myself again.
yeah. I feel like my first series that I released will never be finished just because I deviated and then my style changed. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So I went back. I was like, I no longer feel connected to this project. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I have people like, when are we gonna get the last book? And I'm like, never. Like, I don't know.
but no, like that's a real thing because like when you're writing, like you get better at writing the more that you write, and then it's just kind of like
Yeah,
you go back to older projects, and it's not that they're bad, but you're just like, yeah, no, I don't write like this. I don't sound like this. It would be a completely
yeah,
different book than what it was the first time. And if
yeah.
you really like the first one, I don't know if you're really gonna like what I got now. It's
Like
different.
I would have to completely rewrite that entire series in like my current voice or my current style in order for me to finish it. And I just don't want to undertake that.
That's fair. That's valid. For me, with Keeping Promises, I was just like, I did a second edition with the proper ending, and I was like, yeah, good luck. That's it. There's nothing else coming from me with these two
Yeah.
characters.
Maybe I'll do that. I'll just rewrite the ending of that third book and go on with my life.
Yeah. I was like,
Oh
there's
my
nothing else
god.
coming. I got nothing for you. I'm so sorry. And I don't want to like repeat that. So I'm like, let me focus on finishing Wrath of the Gods, and then we will do the other stories. So
Makes
we'll
sense.
see. We'll see. But I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know if y'all have this problem, but part of the reason I was sitting here at the beginning of the spring, 'cause I was just like, what in the world happens next? I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm just over here like, well, maybe I should just start writing something. Like somebody's going to say something, do something. And
Yeah.
I was just like, so we're writing, and I don't know how much of this I'm gonna be able to keep, but we will see. We will see. I think I'm just too hard on myself because I'm like, yeesh, I write so slow. Like the pace, not the pacing. The pacing isn't slow technically. It's just like the trajectory of what's happening. I'm like, I want it to be faster. I want to be action packed. I want to be snappy. And I'm like, a homegirl's trying to be hip hop in her mind, but she's really like a waltz, and I can't do anything about it. You know. So.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see here. I feel like my writing has gotten better and I'm figuring my style. I go back and look at stuff from 2019. I'm like, interesting. Yo, I feel that way all the time. Like whenever I'm really like demotivated, unmotivated. I don't know which one of those is correct right now. When I need more motivation, I go back and I'm like, huh, this is the story that I wrote when I was like 16. Look how far I've come. Look how far
Right.
we have come.
So far, the growth is impeccable. I don't know. I it's going back to like the whole like being stuck in the scene. Like you said, you just start writing. I will start writing a whole different part of the book. Honestly, like I'll just leave that scene alone and come back to it. Like that's why I end up with bullet points though. So maybe that's not a good. And when I go back and I start like editing, it's like, what the heck did I do here? Well, I didn't know what was going. But then by the time I do that, I understand what was supposed to be in there, and I can
Yeah.
fix
S-
it. Yeah.
I think my problem right now is just I'm alternating. Well, not even alternating. There are some chapters that are like in my main character's perspective, Brandy, and then there are some that are in the other main character, Sarah. And the first, like basically half of this book so far has been Brandy's perspective, just because everything has been going on with her that the other characters just wouldn't know about. And so now that I'm like,
Mm.
okay, we've gotten some of the major things out the way, I want to kind of tell the other character's perspective because she's like the self-insert character. She's the one who's going to ask questions and, you know, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I was just kind of like, okay, we need to transition from here, from like, how do I'm not one of those authors where I could be like, oh yes, I am working on, act one of my story. I don't know. I'm at the part of the story where stuff has happened and they need to do some stuff about that. So I'm just kind of
Yeah.
like, if I had to break it down, I'm like trying to transition from the end of Act One to the beginning of Act Two, and trying to do it in like a graceful way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we will see. We will
I
see.
think
Right?
like you said, for it to be from different perspectives too is what also adds to it because it's like then you also have to shift the tone, the voice of the character. Like all of that has to shift too. So it does make it a little bit more difficult to do that seamless transition.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep
That's
writing
why
it
I tend
out.
to stay in one person's head. This book actually has multiple POV, like because like you said, there's stuff happening that this person is like locked in a cell for all of this. They don't know what is going on, right? So I have to go into
Right.
someone else's head to like to show what they're doing to try to save her. And it's like, oh, I really have to be in this character's head now because this is an unfamiliar place. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's like okay, I haven't been here in a while. Let's see what you're thinking.
And I
But and then like you don't want it to sound like it's the same character, you know, like they
right.
need to have their own like inner monologue type of thing too. So, uh,
Yeah. And the thing is, Sarah is so much softer than Brandy, and it's just kind of like in my head, I'd be like, "Girl, if you don't pull yourself together," like in my mind, to Sarah, I'm always in the mode talking to Elastigirl, and I'm just like, "Pull yourself together," you know. That's like my inner monologue to her. But she's just really soft and
yeah,
sensitive, and I'm just like, okay. So, but her perspective is important, so I can't just be like, let's just get rid of her, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna keep writing this, and hopefully it works out because she's having a conversation with this other character who was introduced at the end of the last book. So I'm hopefully hoping that it'll just like help build that character out a little bit more because he is important and he comes into play later on in the book. So
oh,
we'll see. And also, he's the only person who's nice to Sarah, so she kind of needs that. Um, but let's see here. Looking back on my adventures had me laughing at my distrust in my current work. Doesn't last long, but when it's really bad, it's good to see. Yeah, yeah. You have those moments of self doubt, and then you're like, but you know what? I don't do this anymore. You know.
yeah.
But it is what almost 55 minutes after. So we are going to go ahead and jump into this next sprint if you guys are good with that. And I'm since the buttons are working, we'll go ahead and actually put 25 minutes on the clock. I don't know what time that is, in actual time, but 25 minutes. Happy sprinting, you guys.
It was a cold-blooded, premeditated murder.
All right, you guys, that is it for that sprint. So let us know how you did, what you did, all that good stuff. And this is your casual reminder to stretch, breathe, drink some water, do whatever it is that you need to do to take care of yourself. So, um, how did it go?
Let's see. 7:46.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah. I got a slow start. Somebody was like messaging me.
I think
How'd it
it's
go for you?
I got 691. So
Nice.
yeah, making progress, making progress. I am starting to kind of get an idea of why I felt the need to write the scene, which is
Hmm.
nice. Um, I think kind of like I said, I just needed to flesh out these two characters in like their relationship to each other, and also this character just kind of needed like a push in the right direction, for lack of a better word or phrasing. So, feeling pretty good about it so far. Um, Not gonna lie though, I'm at a point where I'm just kind of like, I want the scene to be over. I want to write the fun stuff. So,
Yeah, it's like some of those like filler scenes is like, all right, I know this is necessary to like, further us along, but let's get to the good. I'm actually in the middle of like a sexy scene, so
oh, okay.
plenty more fun happening.
Let's see here. Ash got 245 words. Dope. Cassandra got in about 100 words in the outline. I think I got the major plot points figured out, so I'm happy about that. Awesome. Congratulations.
Yay.
Speaking of which, how do you guys feel about outlines? I feel like I'm becoming more of an outliner the more I write. But I was
Mhm.
talking to my coaching client the other day and he asked me about it. And I was just kind of like, there are things that definitely have to happen in the book, but I'm
Yeah.
also very much like, um, it just kind of gets made up on the fly. And so I was talking to him and in We Are the Origin, there's a section of the book, like that's like a good chunk in the center, where it's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
none of this was planned. This was all like made up on the fly. And if you've read the book, like all the stuff that happens in Karna's domain at Tara's house, all of that is like completely made up from the time that they got dropped off at the edge of Asari's domain to the time they made it to Lindo's domain. All of it was completely just made up. And I was talking to him about it and I was just like, am I the only one who does this? Like, yeah, like some of the major content in my book was just like, oh, this seems like a good idea. Let's throw this in here.
No, that's the pantser. Like, um, I don't know. I feel like I plan, but only like a couple chapters at a time. You know what I mean? And I think that's
Hmm.
very much a pantser. Like I can't see that far ahead of where I'm at. Um, but if I jump, like if I'm struggling with a chapter and I just jump to the next chapter that I know what's gonna happen, then I can move on from there and come back. But as far as like sitting down and writing out a full like plot and outline, like it's so hard. And I'm trying to do that. Like I'm trying to adapt that with projects that are like shared worlds and anthologies where I'm more like there's more of a limit on what I can do with the imagination.
Hmm.
Um, so it's kind of working, but like for my own like projects where it's just solo, it's me, no one else is relying on this content. I still find myself to be more of a pantser than a plot.
And I guess that's the best way to put it because I get it. I'm like, like for me, I know where this book has to end in order for the next one to pick up, right? I know
Yeah,
that. But there's like 120,000 words in the middle where I don't know what's happening. Like I know where the first book left off, and so I have to start there, and I know where this book needs to leave off, so I know where I need to end. And I know like there are a couple of key points in the middle that have to happen, but other than that,
yeah,
it's completely like, oh, this seems like a good idea. Let's roll with this. Let's see how this works
yeah.
out. And it's just kind of like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wish I could like quantify this process so that I didn't have to keep feeling like I'm walking into the void every time I sit down to write. But at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like what you said. I can't think that far in advance. I don't know. I
Yeah,
tried
and
to
I
come up with a
think
plan.
like when I try to outline, I like my creative process feels more like I feel stifled by the outline.
Yeah.
And now it's like if I do have like I'm more or I'm less likely to have those like aha moments that just come with my natural flow of writing. And I think I was talking to you about like the that book that I was reading that was like how to outline a book because I really
Hmm.
want to learn how to do it. But the process that it was talking about is very similar to what I already do. And I'm like, well, maybe that's an outline. I just don't call it an because there's so many more words you get
I
with a typical outline.
I feel like outlining has this idea that you have to like sit and then you have each chapter planned out with like stuff underneath that and maybe use bullet points. I feel like when they say, "Oh, you can use bullet points," it's like when your teacher's like, "Oh, well, you don't have to write in full sentences," but then you end up writing in full sentences anyway. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel like a genuine offer, you know?
Yeah. And that's the thing, like bullet points only happen to me when I'm stuck. So I can't imagine sitting down and writing a document full of bullet points because now I'm like, I'm not get like in my mind, I'm doing this because I'm stuck. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I don't know. You gotta find a way to trick the brain, I think.
Trick the
I love
brain.
outlining, but I get doing.
Uh,
I just
oh,
want to read one of these comments.
gotcha. Let's see here, because I have to paint first to figure out who the characters are and what my story is about. After that, I can outline, but I'm very flexible. Things will change, and that's okay. And I think that's the thing with me. When I feel
Mm,
like when I outline, I feel like the story is no longer flexible. I feel like it's been written, and even if it's not in stone, I feel
yeah,
like it's like this needs to happen. Like this is the path that I need to follow, and I feel like it keeps me from being like, oh, but what if I did this? Because then my brain, I'm really, really, truly lazy on the inside, you guys. And if my brain said, but we already did this, we already did this work. Why are you trying to make what work for us? My brain's like, no, we're not doing that. We're going to follow the
yeah.
work that we already laid out for ourselves.
But I think, like you said, you identify those key items that have to happen in order for the story to make sense, so to speak, and then everything else is like I just want to have fun. I want to, I
Right.
want to feel like I'm exploring, or um, I want to feel like I'm kind of the reader in this, where I'm realizing everything as the reader would, so to speak. And I feel like if I plan it, then it's not so fun to execute.
Right. I don't know if you have this problem, but I feel like when I outline, my writing itself becomes so much more dry and like boring because I've already experienced it. And it's kind of like, for me, it's the same effect as I don't know if y'all do this, and maybe I'm just telling on myself and the type of person I am, whatever. But it's kind of like when something big happens and then you call your mama and you talking to her and you all hype the first time you tell the story, but then like your friend calls you after that and you have to recount the story. You are not as hyped as you were when you were like, Mom, let me tell you what
Yeah.
this girl just did. You're like, oh yeah, this happened today. And it just has a
And
completely
the
different
more times
tone.
you say it, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
By the time you get to that fourth person, you're just like bullet point.
Bullet point. Like, and they're like, how was your day? You're not like, bruh, let me tell you what happened. You're like, yeah, this person, like, this
Yeah.
cop just stopped me in the middle of the street
High level
and
overview.
just ruined my whole morning, but it's fine. I got my Biscuitville and moved on. Like,
That
wait a
part.
second. Can we rewind? What do you mean? It's not that big of a deal. That's fine.
I'm not going through all that again.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah. No, I feel like it's the I don't know. Maybe it's because like I'm like I feel like I'm a natural storyteller to an extent. So then I feel like I'm not telling a story anymore. Like the story has been told. What are you talking about? It wasn't told in a great way, but it was told. Let's on go on to the next thing.
right? You should have came to the opening show, homie. I don't know how to help you.
It's the same thing with outlines. I already told this story. Did I tell it in a way that readers can read it? No, but it's been told. Now I'm going to about it. Time to move on.
Time to move on. Let's see. I like outlining, but I get stuck doing them. So I make sure to free write, but have a general idea of what the theme is and the character traits of my protagonist. That's another thing that I want to ask y'all about, and we might have to table it for the next after the next sprint. But how do y'all feel about character sheets and character planning? Because I have found that I hate character sheets. Can't stand them. Don't want to do them. Don't want to look at them ever again. That's just me. And I
Yeah,
don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way.
I create mine as I go. Like I don't sit down and write one, but like as I learn things about my characters, I add it to their character sheet. But like I
Right.
don't build out complete characters before I start writing because now I'm like I don't want to do this. Like
And that's what and I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I keep track of my characters, but I'm not like at the beginning of my author journey, I would be like, ooh, character sheets, and like, let's give this person a name and a birthday and yada yada yada. And I'm just like, y'all, I don't know what my characters' birthdays are. I honestly don't. It's not relevant to the story, but
yeah,
I can tell you Brandy's preferred weapon of choice. I can tell you how she likes to get rid of people. I feel like that's
her
relevant to the
birthday. I don't
story.
care about that.
Like,
We're
when was
not
she born?
celebrating birthdays in this book.
Not relevant. Not relevant information.
Yeah, no. I think like in at one point like they referred to like a character's zodiac sign, but still that's probably as close as I got to like identifying a birthday for any of my characters. But I also
Honest.
like I don't even give all of my characters last names if I don't feel it's important. Like why do you use a person's last name? Like they are not hanging around, you know what I mean?
You know, like Jack is Jack. Jack has the last name. And in the world of, real the origin, there are some people who have what are family names or whatever. But then there are some people who don't, and that's like a sign of like your standing in your social hierarchy in the world or whatever. But
Yeah.
y'all know I came up with that rule because I was like, I don't know, he's Jack. I don't know what his last name is going to be. What am I going to give him? Harris? This is a fantasy world. He can't be a Harris or a Carter. Like, no,
Yeah.
that's not going. No.
Yeah, that's like one of my work in progress is like only the royal family has a last name and all of their names in symbol like they have a bunch of rules to identify as a royal. But everybody else is like whatever, like
Like,
I
you
don't really care.
can't help you. Cannot help
It's
you.
fine. It's fine.
But yeah, so our 10 minutes are up. It is I'm yeah, anyway, not even look at the time. We're gonna go jump into another sprint. Um, this may or may not be our last one, so we'll see how we do, how we feel after we come back. But if it is our last one, make sure you guys get in all the words that you can. And yeah, happy sprinting, 25 minutes on the clock, and we will be back whenever 25 minutes is up because my mental math is not mathing. So 25 minutes. All right, you guys, that is it for that sprint. So, um, as always, let us know what you did, how you did, all that good stuff down in the chat below. And yeah, also let us know if you want to do another sprint. That was 3, so and it's 1 o'clock now, Eastern Standard Time. So we may just call it here. Jessica, I'm not sure how you're feeling or what you've got planned for the rest of the day, but yeah, let us know how you did, so on and so forth. How'd you
Yeah, I
do,
have a
Jessica?
meeting in a half hour. I had 910, so
Oh,
back
whoa,
up, almost back to 1K. So yeah.
awesome.
How'd you do?
Um, I have to do some math real quick.
Mhm.
I fell into a flow that time, so I feel like I did pretty good, but the numbers can usually be pretty disappointing. um,
That's awesome.
I got 725 that time, and I am halfway to my goal, I think, for today. Um, like I said, I needed 2,700 words. I'm at 1,400, so yeah, I'm a little over halfway to my goal for where I need to be for today. So I am definitely going to try to get that. And like I said, I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the stream, but I am going to be on Ash's channel later today at 6 o'clock for writing sprints. So I will definitely hit the word count at some point, some point today.
I may jump in and watch you guys work. I am at 3,000, I think, for the day.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, just under 3,000 so far for today. So um, after client meetings, I will be back at it. So,
Gotcha.
you guys start at 6 Eastern?
Hmm.
6 Eastern?
Yes. 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 Um, I
Put it in,
will.
in the
Yeah, I will drop the link right here in the chat. So it's here. And if you're watching this replay in the future and you want to go watch the replay of Ash's show, or if you're watching this before 6 o'clock today, just make sure that the chat replay is turned on the right side of the video so that you can get the link as well. But yeah. Whew. Let's see here. Ash got 467, so whoop whoop. Cassandra got about 150 and was doing research, so done for the day. Awesome.
like,
I think I am also done, at least for the time being. I am so tired. I think I am going to take a break and
yeah,
take a nap, get some food. Um, I also have a meeting.
rejuvenate.
Yeah. So I also
It's,
have a
I'm
meeting.
trying to do like
So
what I need to get a snack or something before this meeting. Like I'm getting a little hangry right now. I don't want to
that's
be on this call like, oh, what do you guys want? Oh my gosh.
that's
It's
fair.
so gloomy outside. It's just like the mood is it's a low vibe today. Low vibrational.
It is. I wish you could just be like, it's raining, therefore no work will be done today. I
And
hope
can
you
you see
understand.
the forecast? Do you expect me to work? What's wrong with you guys?
Right. Right.
No, this is
So
good. This is a good. I needed this because like my first couple of sessions, I had like 200 words, 300 words. I was slow, so this got my numbers up, and I think I'm so close to being done with this chapter now.
I hope it gets done. I'm rooting for you, ma'am.
Yeah,
I
thank
am.
you.
I am getting there. I really like the conversation that's happening between these two characters. So I'm just kind of like, I did not see this coming, but I feel like it's like a moment of softness that's really needed, but like in a completely
Yeah,
platonic kind of way, you know?
I love that.
So, yeah, yeah,
See,
yeah.
that's why pansing, like you have those unexpected moments where you're like, oh, do this. It's so sweet. Like, it's
Like,
exciting.
I'm excited for these two characters to have found a friend in each other. And originally that was like never part of the plan. They were never really supposed to have interaction like that. So
Yeah,
we will see where it goes. But
I
yeah,
love it.
that is it for these sprints, you guys. Thank you so much for being here, for being productive with us. Just so you know, I will be back next week, same place, same time, 11 o'clock on the channel, doing more sprints. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss when we go live. And go ahead and like this video if you haven't already because you've already made it to the end. So you might as well. You might as well. So
Might as well.
if you haven't already, be sure to check out my book, We Are the Origin, and check out any of Jessica's amazing books. There'll be links in the description box. They're not there right now, not to Jessica stuff, but I will add that so that you can support. And yeah, we will see you guys next time. So until next time, you guys, I hope your days are lovely and your books are interesting. Bye.